The colonel saw her ring while she cleaned her weapon. Then everything changed. The U.S. Army is well known for its discipline, hierarchy, and sense of duty. From the lowest private to the highest general, everyone must follow orders. There are many rules that soldiers have to abide by. Some may seem strange to civilians, like not being able to grow a beard or having to tuck in their shirts. They're there for a reason. The rules don't always make sense, but they're supposed to help keep order in the ranks. In 2013, one soldier was punished for breaking a strange rule. She had to be separated from her unit and reassigned. It was all because of her wedding ring. This is the incredible story of the soldier who was banished from her unit for wearing a wedding ring. It was just another day at Joint Base Lewis McTord. Private First Class Megan Morris was cleaning her rifle as she had been instructed. But while she was doing it, her colonel walked by and saw something shocking. He had never noticed this before. The soldier was wearing a wedding ring on her right hand. It was a beautiful ring, but according to Army regulations, it should have been removed. She had actually only worn the ring for 3 weeks, but her colonel had already decided what he would do with her. The married soldier was immediately separated from her unit and sent to live in an isolation room on base. She was given a warning and told that if she broke the rules again, she would be kicked out of the Army altogether. Megan was confused and angry. All she wanted to do was clean her weapon. And although her wedding band wasn't large or flashy, it did break Army regulations. Every soldier knows that no jewelry is allowed. But how could her colonel have possibly known that she was even married? No one else knew except for her best friend, Specialist Alicia Shacourt. Alicia was outraged when she heard about what happened to her friend. She had no idea that Megan was wearing a wedding ring under her gloves. But she wasn't going to stand by and watch as her friend was punished. Alicia went straight to her commander, Chief Warrant Officer 5 James Wills. She tried everything she could to convince him to change his mind. But he was adamant that the rules were the rules and had to be followed. But why was the rule against wearing rings so important? A soldier's uniform is part of their identity. That's why all the rules exist, even the weird ones. It's very important that soldiers look professional at all times. Soldiers are expected to be role models and ambassadors for the Army wherever they go. A soldier wearing civilian clothing might be mistaken for someone else. And if they're not careful, they could accidentally reveal classified information or put someone else in danger. Soldiers aren't allowed to wear civilian clothing unless they're off duty and can prove it. That's why many soldiers wear a special hat known as a fatigue cap when they're working. It makes them easily identifiable as soldiers, and jewelry can also pose a danger. Soldiers often have to perform tasks that require heavy machinery, explosives, and firearms. Jewelry can get caught in moving parts and cause serious injury. It can also get snagged and pull a soldier's arm or finger. If that happens while handling dangerous equipment, it could lead to a terrible accident. Soldiers also need to be able to identify each other quickly. In combat, every second counts. If 2 soldiers fighting next to each other in battle are wearing rings on the same finger, it could cause confusion and lead to friendly fire. Because of these dangers, soldiers aren't allowed to wear any jewelry except for a wedding ring, but even that can only be worn on the right hand. All of these rules are in place to keep soldiers safe and to ensure that they are always ready to defend their country. Now back to Megan and Alicia. When Alicia found out that Megan had been sent to an isolation room, she took action. She went to see the woman's father, Diane Ashcroft. She explained what had happened and asked for her support. Together, they wrote a letter to the post's commanding general, Major General Jeffrey S. L. Larson. In the letter, Alicia begged the general to reverse the decision. She explained that Megan's ring didn't break any safety protocols, and that she had only worn it for 3 weeks. She pointed out that the ring was uneven noticeable under her gloves, and that no one else knew she was married. Alicia ended the letter with a powerful statement. I believe that Private First Class Morris should not be alienated from her unit and punished further for a mistake that most soldiers make. She is a dedicated soldier who works hard and deserves a second chance. Alicia hoped that the general would take pity on her friend and overturn the decision. She knew that he was a fair man and would make the right choice. But what would the general decide? Would Megan be allowed to return to her unit? Or would she be kicked out of the army? As they waited for a response, Megan began to feel hopeless. She had served in the army for 5 years, and had never had any problems before. She loved her job and didn't want to be separated from her unit. The colonel's decision had come as a shock and she didn't know what to do. When the response finally came, both women were shocked. Megan's punishment had been overturned and she was being transferred to a new unit. She couldn't believe it. She was so grateful to Alicia for standing up for her and helping her get her job back. Megan had only had the ring for a few weeks, but it had already caused quite a stir. She had bought it as a surprise for her husband John, who had been deployed overseas. When she learned that he was coming home, she wanted to do something special for him. So she went to a local jeweler and picked out a simple but elegant ring. It was a small silver band with a single diamond in the center. She knew that he would love it, but she also knew that she had to hide it from him. John had no idea that Megan had bought him a ring. He had been deployed for months and hadn't had a chance to pick out a wedding band for himself. He was excited to start a family with Megan and couldn't wait to give her a ring of her own. But Megan had beaten him to the punch and bought herself a ring first. She was so happy with her purchase that she wore it everywhere, even to work. She knew that it was against the rules, but she couldn't help herself. She was so proud to be a soldier and so excited to share her happiness with her husband. But little did she know that her happiness would soon be turned upside down. After being transferred to her new unit, Megan was eager to start fresh. She put the incident behind her and focused on her work, but she never forgot the valuable lessons she had learned. She had put her personal feelings above the rules and had been punished for it. But she was grateful for the experience, because it had taught her the importance of following orders. From that day on, Megan was even more dedicated to her job. She worked hard to make up for the time she had lost and to prove herself to her new unit. She was determined to make a positive impact and to honor her commitment to her country. The experience had been a wake-up call, but it had also been a turning point in her career. Megan was now more committed than ever to serving her country and protecting her fellow citizens. And as for Alicia, she was proud of the courage she had shown in standing up for her friend. She knew that she had done the right thing and that Megan deserved a second chance. The two women remained close friends and supported each other through the ups and downs of military life. Megan's story is a reminder that even the smallest actions can have big consequences. But it's also a story of resilience and the power of friendship. She was able to turn a negative experience into a positive one and use it to make her even stronger.